Hi Nana. We were learning a DL system of nomenclature or else a relative configuration. Okay, so we have seen the DL system uh, in carbohydrates. So now we will learn about the DL system or relative configuration for amino acids. Generally, the DL system it is used for the biological molecules. Okay, so like carbohydrates, amino acids, and their derivatives. So for amino acids, how DL system is used? So generally, amino acid are the molecules which contain amine group, NH2 group, and COOH group. So this is acid group and this is amine group. So as the molecules contain amine and acid group, they are said to be amino acids. Actually, amino acids are the building blocks of the proteins. There are several types of amino acids in the nature. Okay. See, generally, uh, if you write the Fisher projection of amino acid, the COOH group, it will come up, I mean vertically up. So on the top position, COOH group will be, and the alkyl group will be vertically down. That means at the bottom, alkyl group will be, and amine group, NH2 group, it may be present on right side. It may be present on right side, or else it may be present on left side. So if NH2 group is present on right side, then it is said to be D configuration. If NH2 group is present on left side, then it is said to be L configuration. So in this way, uh, for amino acids, D configuration and L configuration can be given. So here, based on the amine group, where which side the amine group is present, the configuration is given to that molecule. For example, if you take this molecule, so in this molecule, amine group is present towards the right side. Hence, it is said to be D amino acid. So that means it may be some other. It is an amino acid. It is having its own name. So I am not mentioning the name. Simply I am mentioning it as amino acid. So what type of amino acid? It is a D amino acid. So here NH2 group is present towards the left side. Hence it is said to be L amino acid. Okay. If NH2 group is present on right side, it is said to be D configuration. And if it is towards the left side, it is said to be L configuration. See, one thing we have to remember that, so this molecule may rotate the plane polarized right towards the right side, or else towards the left side. That means clockwise direction or else anti-clockwise direction. We cannot decide by looking into the configuration of the molecule. We cannot decide which rotatory, either it is dextro rotatory or lever rotatory. We cannot say. So this is not dextro or lever rotatories. Okay. So simply it is D configuration. This D is not a dextro rotatory and L is not a lever rotatory. Okay, simply it specifies the configuration of the chiral center. So what is the meaning of configuration? Configuration is nothing but the arrangement of different groups on chiral atom is said to be configuration. Okay, so particularly relative configuration. So relative configuration, it is nothing but DL system. So in these two types are there. In relative configuration, two types are there. One is D configuration and L configuration. So D configuration is when NH2 group is present towards the right side, and L configuration is when NH2 group is present towards the left side for amino acids. Okay, right. Now let us learn another configuration, another type of configuration known as erythro and trio configuration. Erythro and trio configuration. So this type of configuration actually it found in compounds containing more than one chiral center. Okay. Suppose if two adjacent chiral carbons, remember, two adjacent chiral carbon atoms in Fischer projection formula. For example, this is Fischer projection formula. Okay. So if two adjacent chiral carbon atoms in Fischer projection formula have similar groups on same side or not. See, for example, so X and X. So here these two are similar groups, they are present on the same side. So in this case, similar groups, they are present on opposite side. So that means two types. Here this is chiral atom, this chiral carbon, and this is also chiral carbon. So these two are adjacent chiral carbons. Here also this is a chiral carbon, this is also chiral carbon, and these two are adjacent chiral carbons. So if two adjacent chiral carbon atoms in Fischer projection formula have similar groups on same side or else similar groups on opposite side. So depending upon the presence of similar groups on same side or on opposite side, so it is classified into two types. So if similar groups are on same side, then it is said to be erythroisomer. Erythroisomer. So this is erythroisomer because similar groups are present on same side. Here similar groups are present on opposite sides, hence it is trioisomer. It is a trioisomer. If similar groups are on opposite sides, then it is said to be trioisomer. It is said to be trioisomer. Okay. So in this example also, so similar groups are present on the same side, hence it is also erythroisomer. But here similar groups are present on the opposite sides, hence it is trioisomer. So here also similar groups are present on the same side, hence it is also erythroisomer. Here similar groups are present on the opposite side, hence it is said to be trioisomer. So like erythroisomer and trioisomer. So in this way, erythro and trio configuration can be represented. Actually, erythro and trio, for example, these two are not mirror images. Remember that erythro and trio are not mirror images; they are non-mirror images, and they are simply said to be diastereomers. Erythro and trio isomers. Erythro and trio isomers, they are not mirror images, they are diastereomers. Okay, right. See, the next concept is optical isomerism in cyclic compounds. See, actually, mono-substituted cycloalkanes. What are mono-substituted cycloalkanes? If there is only one substituent, so only one hydrogen is replaced by some other group, then it is said to be mono-substituted cycloalkanes. In mono-substituted cycloalkanes, that means the mono-substituted cycloalkanes are optically active. They are optically active, either in cis form or else in trans form. So that means if it is mono-substituted cycloalkane, then it is always optically active, either in cis form or else a trans form. For example, if I take a cyclopropane, so we will learn about mono-substituted cyclopropane. So here, actually, so this is mono-substituted cyclopropane. So only one of the hydrogen is replaced by some other group, some other atom or some other group. So actually it can produce a mirror image, and which is non-superimposable mirror images. So these two are non-superimposable mirror images. Hence these two are enantiomers. So these two are optically active. Okay, so remember that mono-substituted cycloalkanes are they are optically active because they form non-superimposable mirror images. That means they form enantiomeric pair, DL pair. Hence, they are said to be optically active. Suppose if you learn about disubstituted cyclopropane, so in that what happens? The same cyclopropane, but it is 1,2 disubstituted. So that means here 2. So first position and second position. So these 2 are substituted. I mean the 2 hydrogens are substituted by some other groups. So here also it is optically active. Here it is cis form because 2 hydrogens are present on the same side of the plane. Okay. I mean towards the same side, either towards the same side. Okay. Hence they are said to be cis form. So here if I take the cis form of 1,2 disubstituted cyclopropane, so it can produce a mirror image which is non-superimposable. Hence it is optically active. So that means 1,2 disubstituted it is a cis form. So optically active, it is optically active cis, it has optically active cis form. And even a trans form also. Okay. So these 2 hydrogens are present on one is above the plane and another one is below the plane. Okay, one hydrogen is above the plane and another hydrogen is below the plane. Or else one hydrogen is above the plane and this hydrogen is below the plane. So here this is trans form of the same compound. Okay. So it is also optically active because it is producing non-superimposable mirror image and it can form an enantiomeric pair. Okay. So it is also optically active. Suppose if A and B, if A is equal to B, then cis form. So if A is equal to B, or else if A is equal to B or B is equal to A, so I will write like this. What happens? So it cannot because there is a plane of symmetry in it. So here it cannot form non-superimposable mirror images. It cannot form non-superimposable mirror images. Hence it is optically inactive because there is a plane of symmetry. So this plane can divide the entire molecule into 2 equal halves. So that means if A is equal to B, then cis form is optically inactive. OI means optically inactive. Okay. Now let us check the trans form. So there is no plane of symmetry. Optically active. It is optically active. So the trans form is optically active. Trans form is optically active. So this is all about the optical isomerism in cyclopropane. Now let us learn about optical isomerism in cyclobutane. In cyclobutane, optical isomerism in cyclobutane. See, in cyclobutane, so this is cyclobutane, this is called as cyclobutane. So we may study about 1,2 disubstitution and 1,3 disubstitution also. So 1,2 disubstituted, 1,2 disubstituted cyclobutane. First we will learn about 1,2 disubstituted cyclobutane. So for example, this is cyclobutane. Okay. So BH here AH. So here H, H. That means these two positions. So these two chiral carbons. Okay, see here, this is substituted and even this is also substituted. 1 2 di substituted. So here it is this form. Here it is this form. It is optically active. So in 1 2 di substituted cyclobutanes, so cis form is optically active when these two groups are different. Okay. Now let us learn the trans form of the same thing. So here two hydrogens are present on the same side, hence it is said to be cis form. Okay, I am drawing the trans form of this one. These two hydrogens, if I consider, so here trans isomer. So even trans isomer is also optically active. It is also optically active. Suppose if A is equal to B, okay, then again two conditions. So the cis form is optically inactive. Cis form will become optically inactive. OI means optically inactive due to plane of symmetry. Suppose these two are same, then what happens? You will find a plane of symmetry. This plane will divide the molecule into two equal halves. Hence, as it is a plane of symmetry, any molecule, if it is having any symmetry element, maybe plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or alternating axis of symmetry, or else any element of symmetry is present in a molecule, then that molecule will be optically inactive. So here, due to the presence of plane of symmetry, the cis form, if A is equal to B, here that means the B is changed to A. That means if these two are same, then what happens? The cis form is optically inactive. OI means optically inactive. This is due to the plane of symmetry. Okay, there exists a plane of symmetry. Suppose A is equal to B for transform. Okay, for transform, then there is no plane of symmetry because it is above the plane and this is below the plane. If you cut this one, what happens? So these two are not, the two halves are not equal because one is above the plane and another one is below the plane. Hence, there is no plane of symmetry. There is no any element of symmetry. Hence, it is optically active. Okay. Now let us learn about 1,3 disubstituted cyclobutane. 1,3 disubstituted cyclobutane. Let us assume this as the first carbon, second carbon and third carbon. Okay, let us assume. So here there is a substitution and here also there is a substitution. So there is a substitution at two places. That means on first carbon and third carbon. Hence it is said to be 1,3 disubstituted compound. So in 1,3 disubstituted compounds, if two groups, two substituents are similar, then hence it is cis form actually. So this cis form is optically inactive because there is a plane of symmetry. We can cut the molecule into two equal halves. Okay, and these two halves are alike, they are similar due to plane of symmetry. That means due to plane of symmetry is present, hence it is optically inactive, not active. If I take a transform of the same compound, so transform the same structure with a transform A H, here H A, okay. What happens? So through the center, if I move if I move this side to certain distance, and if I move in the opposite side also through the same distance, I met as similar groups. Hence, this molecule is having center of symmetry. Okay, got it. So as it is having center of symmetry, then the transform is also optically inactive. Transform is optically inactive due to center of symmetry. The cis form is optically inactive due to plane of symmetry. Okay, right. Now we learn about optical isomerism in cyclopentane. In cyclopentane. So first we learn about 1,2 disubstitution in cyclopentane. One two disubstituted cyclopentane. Let us draw the like this, A and B. So these two are above the plane. Okay, above the plane. Hence it is a cis form because the two hydrogens are below the plane. Okay, the two hydrogens will be below the plane. So when two hydrogens are below the plane, hence it is cis form. Okay, the cis form is optically active. Cis form is optically active because these two groups are different groups. Hence there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or any elements of symmetry. Hence it is optically active. Okay. Now let us see transform of the same compound. So cyclopentane disubstituted means, so this is above the plane. Okay, and this one will be below the plane. So hydrogen will be above the plane and here hydrogen will be below the plane. So that means these two hydrogens are, so here there should be hydrogen below the plane and there should be hydrogen above the plane. These two hydrogens they are in transforms. Okay, they are in trans position. Hence it is a transform of the 1,2 disubstituted cyclopentane. So even this is also optically active because there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, right. So that means the cis form is optically active and even trans form is also optically active when these two are different. Suppose if A is equal to B, if A is equal to B, if A is equal to B, then what happens? There exists a plane of symmetry. Then cis form is optically inactive. Cis form will become optically inactive. Okay, but a transform will be optically active. optically active because there won't be any plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or else an alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, so in 1,2 disubstituted cyclopentane, so generally the cis form, if these two groups are different, okay, then cis form is optically active, and even here also the trans form is optically active. But if A is equal to B, that means these two groups are similar, then cis form will be optically inactive because of there exists a plane of symmetry. Suppose B is equal to A, then what happens? So there exists a plane of symmetry, which this plane will divide the molecule into two equal halves. Okay, right? So due to the if A is equal to B, then cis form is optically inactive due to what? Plane of symmetry. Due to plane of symmetry. But the trans form is optically active only. Now let us learn about 1,3 disubstituted cyclopentane. 1,3 disubstituted cyclopentane. Let us assume this as the first carbon and this will be the third carbon. Okay, there is a substitution on first carbon and third carbon. So this is above the plane and here also above the plane. Both are above the planes. Okay, hence the cis form is optically active. If you cut this one, there is no plane of symmetry, there is no center of symmetry, or else there is no alternative axis of symmetry. Hence it is optically active. Cis form is optically active. Even trans form is also optically active. Even the trans form, here A is above the plane and B is below the plane. See, remember, while writing the atoms or groups below the plane, so we have to use a dashed wedge, not a solid wedge. This is called as solid wedge and this is called as dashed wedge. Okay, right? So below the plane means we have to use a dashed wedge and above the plane means we have to use solid wedge. So here it is a trans form because this hydrogen is above the plane, then this hydrogen will be below the plane. So these two are a trans configuration. Hence it is a trans isomer. Okay. So there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or else alternative axis of symmetry. Hence it is also optically active. Optically active. Okay, but if A is equal to B, so that means if A is equal to B, suppose this is A is equal to B or B is equal to A, then what happens? There exists a plane of symmetry. Because if you divide this molecule through this plane, what happens? It will divide the molecule into two equal halves which are identical. Hence, if A is equal to B, in case if A is equal to B, then what happens? Then cis form. Then cis is optically inactive because symmetry element is present. If whenever a molecule carries any symmetry element, maybe plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or alternative axis of symmetry, in case any symmetry element is present, then that molecule is optically inactive. Okay, but a transform is will be optically active. The transform will be optically active. So this is the way, this is the thing about cyclopentane. Okay, 1,2 disubstituted cyclopentane and even 1,3 disubstituted cyclopentane also we learned. Now cyclohexane, we will learn about cyclohexane, how the optical isomerism in cyclohexane will be. In cyclohexane there are three types: 1,2 disubstitution, 1,3 disubstitution, and even 1,4 disubstitution. 1,4 dis. So first we learn about 1,2 disubstitution. 1,2 disubstituted cyclohexane. Suppose this is cyclohexane. On first carbon there is a substitution. Okay, both A and B, here these two are substituents. When both A and B are on they are present above the plane of the molecule, then as these two are different, so there is no element of symmetry, there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or alternating axis of symmetry. So as the absence of symmetry elements in this structure, then this structure is optically active. It is optically active. If you take the transform of this one, that means one is above the plane and another one is below the plane. So here this hydrogen will be above the plane and here this hydrogen will be below the plane. Okay. So here also, in this case also transform. So the transform is also optically active because these two are different groups. Okay, these two are different groups, hence there is no plane of symmetry or any elements of symmetry. Okay, but if A is equal to B, that means these two are same. If A is equal to B, then the cis form, this is important, cis form is optically inactive. If A is equal to B, the cis form is optically inactive. So not due to plane of symmetry. It is not due to plane of symmetry because it is not a as it is cyclohexane is not a planar molecule. Okay, so this is not a planar molecule, hence there is no here plane of symmetry does not exist here in this case. Okay, plane of symmetry does not exist. Then why here there is no symmetry element in cis form of if A is equal to B, so in that case its cis form should be optically active, but it is optically inactive. Why? Though there is no any element of symmetry, still it is optically inactive. What is the reason? Because due to rapid interconversion of this molecule. See, so this molecule and its mirror image. So this molecule will convert into its mirror image, and that molecule that mirror image will again it convert into this molecule, its original molecule. So the conversion of this molecule into its mirror image and that mirror image into its original molecule, so it takes place very rapid interconversion. Okay, due to rapid interconversion of the molecule and its mirror image, and its mirror image. Okay, due to that rapid interconversion, what happens? So that molecule will become optically inactive. Okay, so that is the case about the cis form of this cyclohexane. So remember that this is important one. Okay, right. Next, we will learn about 1,3 disubstitution in cyclohexane. 1,3 disubstitution. One 3 disubstitution in cyclohexane. So suppose this is cyclohexane. Here above the plane there is a substitution, and on third carbon also above the plane there is a substitution. Okay. So this is cis form. It is optically active because there is no element symmetry of there is no element of symmetry, either plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or alternating axis of symmetry. Hence it is optically active. So any symmetry element, if it is not there, then that molecule will be optically active. If I see the transform of this compound, so that means one substitution is above the plane and another substitution is below the plane and another substitution is below the plane. Suppose I may draw like this. Simply I will draw like this. So if I draw a wedge, dashed wedge, it indicates that it is below the plane. Here it is a solid wedge, hence it indicates that it is above the plane. Okay, so it is very easy to remember that. So if it is a dashed wedge, then it is below the plane. Okay, so here it is a transform. In this transform also there is no plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or any elements of symmetry, hence it is also optically active. Even the transform of 1,3 disubstituted cyclohexane is also optically active. Okay, right. Now we learn about 1,4 disubstitution. 1,4 disubstitution. Remember that in 1,4 disubstitution, 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane particularly, so irrespective of the nature of substituents, that means if the substituents are of same identical or else different. Okay, if the substituents are either identical or else if the substituents are either different, what happens? That means irrespective of the nature of substituent. Okay, here they are optically inactive. They are optically inactive. Both cis form and transform also. Okay, both cis and transform, they are optically inactive. So 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane, okay, it is optically inactive. Okay, though the substituents are either same type, identical substituents or else different substituents. So here there is no we don't consider the nature of the substituents. Irrespective of the nature of the substituents, if there is 1,4 disubstitution on cyclohexane, then that cyclohexane, that 1,4 disubstituted cyclohexane, it is always it is always optically inactive. Okay, both in cis form or else in trans form also it is optically inactive. Okay now, right. We will learn the other concept in the next class.